Hi, I'm Katie Whitford. I work at Sacker and Partners, and I'm a pensions lawyer in the knowledge management team.
Hi, I'm Corine Hoekstra. I'm a pension lawyer at Blomveugeler Zuiderman Advocaat in the Netherlands.
Thanks so much for joining me for this coffee break. We're going to talk a bit about the pension dashboard that you have in the Netherlands, because we're working on introducing something similar in the UK. I think it's called the Pensions Register in the Netherlands.
That's right.
And you've had it for a few years?
Yes, that's correct. With the implementation of the Pension Act in 2007, the pension providers were given a task to set up a pension register by 2011. So they had a 4-year period to do that. And in 2011, the pension register, which is quite comparable to the pension dashboard that you're looking for in the UK. In 2011, it was up and running, and it's a tool that it's used by many people to see what their pension is and how many pension they have accrued. And it's a cooperation between pension funds, insurers, and the Social Security Bank in the Netherlands.
Okay, so does it display information about private pensions as well as state pensions?
Yes, exactly. It displays information about old age pension, spousal pension, disability pension. So that's a pension that you have accrued with a company and with a former company. So it displays all the pension that you have accrued during your career, and also the pension, the state pension that you will receive, which you can also call the first pillar pension. So it gives a good overview of your first and second pillar pension and the pension that you can expect when you retire.
Okay. So when do people tend to look at the pension register to access that information?
Well, for example, if they buy a house and they need funding to buy the house, then they can look into the pension register to see what their pension will be after retirement. For example, okay. If they need to pay a mortgage after retirement or after death of a spouse, for example.
Oh, interesting.
But also, if you're looking for additional savings in the third pillar, if you think that your pension is not sufficient, then you can look into the pension register whether you need to make additional pension savings to top off the pension that you have already accrued.
So that's really important information.
It's really important information, and it gives an overview of the gross pension that you can expect and the net pension, so you can really compare it to the income that you have right now.
Okay. It sounds like there's a lot of information there.
Yes.
And I imagine it was quite complicated to set up. Were there any hurdles?
Yes, there were some hurdles to overcome. There were some IT hurdles to connect the pension funds and the insurers to this pension register. And there were also some challenges because we do have a lot of pension providers in the Netherlands. And at first there were some concerns whether it would be possible to have all that information, gather all the information. But it was feasible to do that. Also, the main hurdle was to obtain the sleeper data. So that's the information about deferred members, right. Because what we found out is that the administration of the pension for deferred members is not always very good. So they really had to look for that information with the pension providers based on the citizen service number in order to get all the information that they needed into this pension register, because the pension register and the success of it stands or falls with the data that it receives from the pension providers. And if the data is incorrect or insufficient, then the pension register will not work and people will not look into it to see what their pension is, because they cannot rely on it. So it's very important to get sufficient data from all the pension providers that are connected to the register.
Yeah, absolutely. We're having very similar challenges in the UK, I think, with establishing the IT infrastructure as the government setting up the central IT infrastructure. And then on the other side, pension schemes are preparing their data to be able to connect to dashboards when they're ready. So we don't have a timeline yet.
Okay.
But we're hoping to have a bit more of a concrete timeline soon. So That's really interesting.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Well, perhaps the Dutch example can be an example for the UK. And in the Netherlands, we have set up a foundation to do that, to set up this pension register. So that may be helpful information also for the UK.
Yeah, absolutely.
In order to achieve this goal.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Corine.